I'm in the aft cargo of A320, and today I would like to tell you a bit about equipment which is very crucial for safety of the flight, and that's smoke detectors. The reason to have those detectors here is that in the cargo we transport many things, and those things can catch fire. That's why, for example, lithium-ion batteries are not allowed to carry in the cargo, because you don't have really access to those. Regarding those smoke detectors, if something catch fire here, we need to know about it, and for that we have those smoke detectors here. We have two here in the aft cargo, two in the bow cargo, and two in the forward cargo. Later on I'll show you where you see them in the cockpit, and then we have another set of the fire or smoke detectors, and they are in the lavatory. Again, it's not under observation all the time, so you need to have a smoke detector there. Regarding cargo, whenever we detect the fire or smoke in the cargo, we have option to use fire extinguishers. And depends of the configuration of your airplane, you can find these fire extinguishers either in forward cargo or in aft cargo. It depends. But that bottle will be extinguished, and it will send the gas which will stop fire through those nozzles in between. That's your nozzle for the medium, which will stop the fire in the cargo. And today I would like to show you how to replace one of those detectors, and during this process I will explain you how this thing works. So let's take a look at it. Another important information regarding cargo fire protection is that these cargos need to be airtight. You cannot have holes in the wall, you cannot have missing screws. Everything what can cause air leak is prohibited. So whenever you have a sort of damage in the cargo, that cargo section need to be considered as inoperative, because from that point you cannot prove that the cargo is fireproof or it is fire protected, because whenever you spray that agent inside of the cargo, it needs to stay in the cargo and need to stop fire. If you have an air leak, that agent can escape from the cargo and the fire can continue. So we're trying to avoid that. So that's why we have so extensive inspection of the cargo cells, because really there are no holes or damage allowed. That's another important information. As a next, I need to mention that cargo which is loaded in the cargo compartment cannot overcome this line. This is requirement space between ceiling and the loaded cargo. Why is that? Whenever we will have the fire in the cargo, that smoke, we need to somehow get to the smoke detector, and thanks to this clearance it will get there because it is in the highest point. So that's why we need to also follow this line. Another reason why we need to load cargo only up to this level are those decompression panels which will fall inside of the cargo in case of decompression. So this is our cargo smoke panel in the cockpit. It is on an overhead panel, and basically whenever we'll have a smoke in the cargo, it will gonna look like this. We're not gonna have this discharge light, we'll have only smoke. Whenever that smoke appear, or this smoke warning appear, you'll have of course sound indication, you will have warning, and you will have ECAM indication as well. Then basically you will discharge one of the bottles, so it will be either cargo or forward cargo or aft cargo. You'll press discharge button, and you will get discharge light. This basically indicated there is no pressure in the bottle, and the agent was discharged in the cargo. And this is how it works from the cockpit. From the cargo, we move to the toilet or lavatory in the cabin, and let me show you where you can find the smoke detector. Here, it's located here inside of this mesh. There the air is sucked from the whole toilet, and the recirculation of this system I already explained in video, which you can find up here, or later on you will find in the description below. Again, that we don't have really information what is going on inside of the toilet, so whenever something catch fire here, maybe a piece of paper or something, somebody smoking here, and he throw the ash in the trash bin, we need to be informed that something like that happened. And thanks to this smoke detector and the air circulation, which I already explained, we will be informed very quickly. Now we'll move to the cockpit, and I'll show you how the indication looks there when we get a smoke warning. So let's go. And there is your warning, and it's really noisy. So if you try to smoke in the lavatory, they will definitely know about it, so don't even try it. Okay, let's start. Today we're gonna replace one smoke detector in bulk cargo. So first of all, we need to get there, which means that I need to remove this divider net. This net divides aft cargo from the bulk cargo. On this airplane, smoke detectors are installed in the pair, and you can find them in the cavity inside of the ceiling panel. And what is the reason behind? This is the highest point of the cargo, which means that smoke will always reach it, and as well, since it is in this cavity, it is protected against the damage from the loaders or from the cargo. The second line of defense is this grid, which I'm removing at the moment. It holds on position thanks to 4 screws. It is a bit harder to get to them, but of course nothing is impossible. So, grid is out and we can continue with the smoke detector. Before this removal, I of course pulls all required CBs, and now I can continue with the removal of the smoke detector. First of all, I need to disconnect the connector, and then I'll need to remove 4 screws on which the smoke detectors hold on the ceiling. And meanwhile I'm doing this, I can explain you how this system works. Smoke detector operates on the principle of reverse scatter light. The light source, labyrinth and photocells are set out in the horizontal plane, so that's why the photocell cannot receive the light. But when there is a smoke, the smoke particles reflect and scatter backwards a part of the light beam. The photocells catch this reflected light and gives an analog signal to the system, and that will set off the alarm. This whole process is controlled by smoke detection function, or CDF, integrated in cabin intercommunication data system, or CIDS. And let's stop here with CIDS because this is one of the most complex system on A320. So let's move further, because I already removed the old smoke detector and I can install the new one, which is basically a reverse procedure. I need to install 4 screws and washers to keep it on the place. And meanwhile, let's take a look why we need to have 2 smoke detectors in each section. The reason behind is that we need to get signal from both smoke detectors to trigger the fire warning. And what happens if only a single smoke detector send a signal? Well, the system monitors smoke detectors also for single detection. When only one cargo smoke detector send the signal, the system automatically checks the second one. If the tests show normal operation of the second detector, the first detector is declared faulty and we just get a failure message. We're not gonna get fire warning. So as you can see, safety is always the highest priority. And by the way, in between those two smoke detectors, you can see nozzle, which belongs to fire extinguishing system. Above is the pipe, which leads to the forward cargo, since this is A320, where the bottle or bottles are stored. You can have 2 bottles if your airplane is set for ETOPS flights. If it is non-ETOPS airplane, most probably you will find there only 1 bottle. The bottle can be installed in the aft cargo, but this you can find on A318 and 319. On that bottle you can find 2 independent lines. One is for forward cargo, the other one is for the aft cargo and bulk cargo. On each bottle you can find pressure switch, which monitor agent pressure, and 2 electrically operated fire cartridges or squibs for the agent discharge. If the bottle is empty, you will get a discharge light on the control panel in the cockpit, and those squibs are controlled by guarded buttons as well on the overhead panel. And meanwhile, as you can see, I'm finishing up with the installation of our smoke detector, which means that I install those 4 screws which I mentioned before. I connect the connector, and now I'm installing the grid. Whenever this is done, we will move to the cockpit and we will perform the test. And I already push all CBs in, and test is quite straightforward. You just hold this test button, you get all the lights, and you need to check if all the warnings are present. If this is okay, we'll get it one more time, and that's basically the whole story of replacement. That's all about smoke detectors. If you have any questions, please write them down in the comments below. As always, I would like to ask you to don't use this as a replacement for maintenance manual, but always use latest documentation released by manufacturer. That's all from my side. My name is Tomáš, this was Aircraft Maintenance with Zeto, and I will see you on next video. Bye.